In this video, I wanted to talk about the Child Care is Essential Act that's been introduced and passed through the House. Some of you may have heard about this through social media or listservs, things like that, if you're in early childhood and you are on those type of mailing lists or things like that. Um, but I wanted to point out, what does it look like at a federal level when legislators introduce a bill and then the process for it to become law. So you'll see we're looking at Congress's website, congress.gov. Um, so you see who the sponsor is. This is the person or group, sometimes it's a group of people, who are introducing and who are um, sponsoring and coming up with this idea. And then as you look at, well, you can see, so this person is it's a representative from Connecticut. Then down here, you can see a summary, and then you can scroll through the different tabs. So just the quick summary, you see the bill establishes and provides $50 billion in appropriations for the Child Care Stabilization Fund, so forth, so forth. And this is through the Child Care Development Block Grant. I know many of you are familiar with that. If your center or your site receives child care subsidy, it's coming from CCDBG. So as you move through the tabs, the next one is the text. This is, as you scroll down, the legal jargon. And so I've included it in as part of your discussion board, so you should scroll through and you should take a look at it. It's to a layperson, we don't often read the legal jargon part of it. There's usually an executive summary or things like that that makes its way to us. But as some of you may know, before I came to UNCW, I worked for the Office of Child Care in Washington, D.C., and so they are the organization that oversee and house the Child Care Development Block Grant. And so my old co-workers from there, they were the ones who wrote this. So that's kind of cool. So then you go back up to the top. Actions is the next one. So this shows you when it was introduced. So look, this was introduced in May, and in July, it was voted on amongst people in the House, and then it will be passed to the Senate. But just think about how much time it takes for something like this to be approved. So you can see on passage, passed by the yays and nays. So yays, there were 249. Nays, there was 163. To me, this is what is critical when you think about this election that's coming up. And maybe this is the first election where you're really paying attention because it's affecting you in a lot of ways. So if you are someone who benefits from this childcare money, you need to pay attention to who is voting for or against certain things like this. And then when it comes time to vote in November, you should really consider, is this someone who represents what you stand for and what is going to better you and your job and your family, your community, things like that. So they break it down by party. So you can see Republican had 18 yays, 162 noes. Democrat was all yays, no noes, so forth. Then you can go down and you can look at it by your state. And so this, to me, when I am thinking about voting, I want to know how are my representatives voting on certain issues that are important to me. And so then you can go down, you see your representatives, and then you can look to see how are they voting. You see 4 of them did not vote. So that's just something to keep in mind. We will take a deeper dive looking at our local representatives when it's closer. I think we do that in October, but closer to the election. We will be taking a good look at who's on our ballot. So let's go back. The titles. Sometimes the titles can be updated, and this hasn't been. A lot of times you may have something that's introduced that has a really long title, and then they'll provide a short title. So that's something to take a look at also. Then you can look at co-sponsors. These are people who have added their name saying we also sponsor this bill. This is different than the people who vote. So you could take a look, see, was there anybody from your state who voted? Or I'm sorry, who was a co-sponsor. So then also looking up here, you see the latest action. You see it was sent to the Senate on July 30th. It's been received in the Senate and read twice and referred to for the Committee of Appropriations. Let's look at all actions and see what that says. So this is a much more detailed, like every step will be documented. And so the most recent step is at the top. So looking at this page, I don't see what are the next steps or when Senate may vote on it. So that will be something that we should pay attention to, or that should be something that's on your radar. All right. So I hope you take some time and you check out this particular bill, and then also if you wanted to search and see anything else that's happening through Congress's website, that would be great too. To receive 1 extra credit point on this assignment, that extra credit point will be put towards your final overall grade. Include the original sponsor of this bill. Do not put extra credit point. Just say the original sponsor of this bill was so and so. This is my way of ensuring that folks are watching my videos.